International presents News18 SheShakti 2024.
Today we are delighted to have with us Ms. Joyita Sen, Director Senco Gold and Diamonds, one of India's largest and most trusted jewellery brand. Known for its innovative craftsmanship and the latest designs, Senco Gold and Diamonds has created a legacy that spans over several decades. And under Joyita's leadership, the company has in fact created a brand that also champions the cause of women empowerment through initiatives that include employment and entrepreneurship opportunities for women. Thank you so much, Joyita, for joining us here at SheShakti 2024. Let me begin by, in fact, asking you about the legacy of Senco Gold and Diamonds, which spans over 80 years. How do you ensure that you preserve traditional craftsmanship while also focusing on innovation?
You see, the backbone of our industry is the karigars. And keeping that tradition alive is so important, especially in today's day and time. So over 80 years, we've been adorning women, giving them what they need. And that tradition we have maintained. But at the same time, to be relevant to today's age, you have to adopt technology. You have to be innovative. So you see, about 70 to 80% of our jewelry is handmade. But now there are designs which need innovation. So for that, you have to have, technology coming in. Not only that, e-commerce and all these platforms, they are new age. So you have to cater to the new age women as well as keep your tradition alive. So that is the balance with which we manage.
Absolutely. You've been very vocal about empowering women through Senco Gold and Diamonds. Could you tell us more about certain initiatives that the brand is taking to empower women?
Women within the organization, sure. So firstly, as you know, the jewelry is for the women, but traditionally men have been a big part of it, more than women. So what we do within the industry is, starting from the karigar level, we try to encourage more women to come in. We give them skill development training, because skill and development training is the key to building the future, because future is now. You have to think of it now in order to have something happen, say 5 years, 10 years later. So the skill and development training is extremely important. Within the organization, identifying women who have the skill and potential, giving them that training, giving them that responsibility, creating that platform so that they can also progress. With time, their skills, their experience matures. So that's how they also move up the ladder. And you create position of authority within the organization and give opportunities to women. So this is what we try to do.
That's actually wonderful. Also, your particular industry, if you talk about the jewelry industry, which has been predominantly male-dominated, how do you see the role of women, especially when it comes to leadership? How is that evolving?
I will say it is slow, but it is evolving. Because you see, we have women managers, and these managers were not born managers. They came in as sales, they came in for other job roles, and we identified leadership qualities in them. We gave them the responsibility, and that is how they have, come up in the organization. So likewise, the industry is also getting more and more organized. So more and more opportunities being created for women in leadership roles, because what a woman will understand for another woman is the key factor in jewelry industry, because we're catering to women. So I definitely feel a very positive trend, and I see the positive trend happening not just in the organization but in the industry as well.
And since we are talking about the organization, I'm sure Senco Gold and Diamonds under your leadership has a significant number of women artists.
Yes.
What are your initiatives to promote skill development for them and evolve their role and growth in Senco Gold and Diamonds?
So we have skill development for when we see someone's creative. So we give them training not just in manual, but also when I was saying innovation technology. So there's CAD, designing. So these are technical training where we encourage, skill development over there. Then women karigars to come in and start with roles which are easier for them, and slowly as they get accustomed, then to develop more and more skills. That is from the Karigar side. Within the organization, if anyone needs particular training in certain areas, providing that on-job training or courses to enroll them for those courses so they can educate themselves better.
Right. I'm sure there must be a role that technology must be playing in your brand as well. Having said that, how are you educating women? Because there's always this stereotype that women are technologically more backward compared to men. Are there skill development initiatives which ensure that women get more tech-friendly?
Yes, there are, because you see, we are also in a big digital era.
True.
So a lot of innovation, technology is in the digital. And here I will say that with the younger generation, I mean, it's about identifying talent more than girl and boy. So that is, and they come with such amazing knowledge, we learn from them. So that is one. And the other more technical part of the industry would be like what I already said, for designing. It's very old school to do with the hands, but now shifting them to machines where you can replicate and you get exact measurements. So the designs come out more perfect. So the exact measurements are given to the Karigar so they can see exactly what they need to make, so that there is less error for margin. So these kind of skills, not only that, but also say in the finance department, if they need specialized education,
right,
to upgrade themselves. So those kind of, say 3 months, 6 months, those kind of courses are also required. So those are the we identify where they need to upgrade their knowledge or their skills, and those are the kind of
also provide for those courses. You help
yes,
them
we
get
do.
on
We
those
do.
courses.
Yes, we do.
It's heartwarming to hear, Joyita. Having said that, jewelry as an industry is also one that requires creativity, design, teamed with business acumen.
Yes.
So how do you ensure that the women artisans bring all of that to the industry? What will be your advice for all those women who are looking to enter this jewelry industry, which, as I mentioned earlier, so far has been male-dominated?
This is, again, a very important question, because jewelry industry is now extremely trend-driven. And trend are best understood by women. So when you identify a trend and you see the future, and that is where you ride the wave of entrepreneurship, to identify emerging trend and act accordingly. So to all those women who if you are in skill training for any creativity, and now it's not just jewelry. In the jewelry industry is also about packaging, display, so much more. The scope of opportunity within the jewelry industry in our organization is so much more beyond just artisan and jewelry designing. It's also about presentation. So their creativity, there are business opportunities right there. So packaging is a big industry within the jewelry industry which is evolving. So there are so many opportunities. So all they have to do is, if they have the skill, to identify these opportunities and then go ahead.
Wonderful. So Joyita, if we look around, women are still underrepresented in several organizations. So how can corporates and various organizations take initiatives that shape a friendlier workplace environment for women and perhaps drive a meaningful change by providing more opportunities?
So I think a job role, that when they are first, it starts with the hiring process. That when you are hiring, first identifying what the job role entails, because men and women, they together, they create the yin and yang, and there is no hard and fast rule that this person can do, this person cannot do. So first, it's very important to identify what the job role entails, and then identifying the person who is across the table, because there are women who are go-getters, who are ambitious, and they are willing to take the risk and do what the job requires. So it's not necessary that it has to be job specified for men, because that is again stereotyping. True. So first, right there, it is identifying the person rather than the gender, and what the person is willing to do the job. But then again, having said that, a lot of women have certain domestic responsibilities, certain places if they have to travel, the safety issues. So those are there. So identifying that, being fluid in assigning job roles so that the right person gets the job and can therefore get the opportunity for growth. That is the primary responsibility of an organization.
As a woman leader, how do you ensure that those factors which have an adverse impact as far as women participation in the workforce in your brand, as far as Senco Gold and Diamonds is concerned, that is addressed, whether it is limited mobility, domestic responsibilities, or even mismatch of, say, what the job they want vis-a-vis the job that's being offered?
Firstly, it's very important that the HR has a more stronger women force, because there are certain issues that a woman is comfortable talking to another woman about. Identifying and empathizing. Because empathy is a big psychological, emotional support in any organization that I feel is the basic right of a woman to have. So that is the first thing. I see certain policies, that prevent crime against women. Those policies act as deterrent. If those policies are created and strictly, like limiting hours or saying, oh, beyond this, women cannot work, I feel these are more deterrent. We are going back.
True.
Because this is telling an organization, oh, if there's a deadline coming up, or this is the season time and you need her to stay back and do the work, oh, the policy is there, I cannot make her do it. So I don't think this is not helping progress. This is hindering. The root cause of the problem is creating a policy that makes the crime against women, they think twice that this is not something that can be accepted at all. And therefore, increasing the safety of women. This is, I think, a very important policy which first needs to be formed. Having said that, till that is formed and current situation, more classes of self-defense, educating a woman in how to, keep herself safe. I think that is extremely important. As an organization, we are working on to create that education for our organization, and I'm happy to share it at this platform, because if this awareness spreads and all organizations come forward to do this as a widespread movement, I think currently that can help women. That will give them more confidence that yes, I can handle myself. So that is, I think, a primary thing. Also, domestic situation where, if there are policies or women bodies or even private government collaboration can come together, where retired teachers, ladies whose children have grown up and they have nothing to do, volunteering, right, or coming together to create a creche or any kind of support system, especially in areas which are high corporate or office building. So that, because one organization can have limited number of women having children. But if it's in an area, then more women can have that support system. Because that is
some very, very valid and practical measures that you are suggesting.
Yes.
Something as mothers we face every day.
And that is a big, because see, we will have children, we have to take domestic responsibilities. And domestic responsibility, especially young children, is a big responsibility, and career and that together to balance. So I can see it and I can feel it myself. So this support is extremely important.
Lions International presents News 18 SheShakti 2024.
According to the Global Gender Gap Index, it will take 134 years to bridge the gap between the genders, especially when we see the kind of discrimination at the workforce. That's why I want to ask you, in your opinion, what is that one big move that is required to bridge that gap as fast as possible?
So this is not a industry corporate question to me. If you ask me, I will say that the entire education system, starting from the mother to the child, the entire policy world over has to change, where, we are teaching our girls that you grow up, you have a job, you are no less than a man. Firstly, this no less than a man is a word is is a statement which I have a problem with. Boys and girls are equal. We teach them gender roles. So this 134 years can be reduced if mothers teach the boy to cook along with the girl, and the girl to educate and be financially independent along with the boy.
Jyota, you've been a key figure in the jewelry industry for the last 15 years. How have you seen this industry evolve, and what have you done to shape the change?
So the industry from the last 15 years that we see is that along with traditional jewelry, new categories of products have emerged, and also new ways of wearing jewelry have emerged. So in 2008, when we had launched Gossip, it was a silver and fashion jewelry inside a traditional gold and diamond showroom. So that in itself was a one of its kind differentiator, if you can say, way back in 2008. And today, when you look at it, the other brands too have followed in that footstep. And this is a few $100 billion dollar business in India and growing.
True.
Yes, so it has a huge opportunity, a huge market, and this is an ever expanding category. So this is something which way back in 2008 when I introduced has seen growth steadily over the years. And also I realized that other than wedding jewelry, women won't all the time wear heavy jewelry for every day. So everyday wear fine jewelry, what we see today, Everlight we had called it, and that was born in 2009. So that was another segment and a differentiator in the traditional wedding jewelry category, was Everlight. So that is again another very growing trend, because Everlight today has evolved to become fashion-based, trend-based jewelry designs, where more than investment, women are looking at everyday fashion wear, but in gold and diamonds. So that was another differentiator which in the industry in 2009 we'd introduced. So you can say that these have been my two biggest contribution, not only in the organization, but it's a trend which I've seen the other organized players slowly over the years. They have also, created their own brands and taken these two categories forward.
Perhaps that is the result of smart and creative thinking as well. Like you talk about how to make jewelry wearable on a daily basis,
Yes.
especially when they are coming from a brand. But as someone who's a strong advocate for diversity, what have you done to make workplace more inclusive when it comes to LGBTQ+, women empowerment, and even gender diversity?
So this is a cause which has been very close to my heart. So actually it goes back to my childhood when I've had someone who used to work in the house, and ultimately she had to run away from home, and that made me feel very upset that why is there no dignity being given to a person, a human being. Every one of us have the right to have dignity.
True.
Every one of us have the right to pursue a career of our choice. Like women shouldn't be stereotyped, no human being should be stereotyped. So way before it became a movement, from my personal experience, I wanted to create a platform where I am able to provide opportunity for those who wish for a change to come and work, learn new skills, have more options to grow. So that was my dream, and I am happy that I got the support from my family, from within the organization, that we could give them a platform. And I have to tell you that they are so great at work, because they are very fashion conscious. They give great tips, and not only that, at back end too, they have certain insights. So every woman has a need, and to fulfill that need is the job of every brand. And this platform that we've given has only enriched us. And not only them, we also employ deaf and mute people, so that they also get an opportunity to work. So very simple work, where they need basic instructions, then they have to input information into the system. So basically, in our own way, in our own small world, we create opportunity where people get dignity and opportunity to be independent and have a life. Quality of life is the birthright of every human being.
And I think that is the true epitome of Nari Shakti.
Thank you so much for your kind words.
Lions International presents News 18 SheShakti 2024.